Hi everyone, it's Teacher Bernadett and welcome back to another morning ring. So today's morning ring is for Monday. Now if the day is Monday, what day is going to be tomorrow? Tuesday. And what day comes after Tuesday? Wednesday. But now what day comes before Monday? Sunday. Very good. Now, can you remember how many days there are in a week? 7 days in a week. And can you remember the names of the days of the week? Let's find out by singing our song. Are you ready? Let's go. There are 7 days, there are 7 days, there are 7 days in a week. There are 7 days, there are 7 days, there are 7 days in a week. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Very good, everyone. Now, can you remember what month we're in? The month of May. Now, if you were listening and watching the videos from last week, I said that the month of May is the 5th month of the year, and that the month of May is still in the season of autumn, and autumn is before winter. So winter. So next month, which is June, winter starts. Okay, but the question really is, can you remember the names of the months of the year and how many months there are in a year? Let's find out. Okay, I'm gonna clap for every month, but I'm gonna count in my head and say the months of the year, and hopefully by the end of the song we'll know how many months there are in a year, and we'll know if we know all the months of the year. Okay, so let's go. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So how many claps was that, guys? 12 claps. Very good. Now I hope you managed to remember all the names of the months of the year. If not, just rewind the video a little bit and practice it again. Okay, or practice it in your own time as well. That's perfectly fine. Now this week we are going to focus on the letter N, and the letter N makes the sound N. Now can you think of a sea creature that starts with the letter N? Anyone? Well, I'll tell you one I can think of, and that is a narwhal. Now a narwhal, I'll talk a little bit more about it later this week, but it's basically like almost a dolphin unicorn, if we'll put it that way. So if you want to know what I mean by dolphin unicorn, which sounds a little silly if you ask me, just, keep watching this week and we'll find out exactly what a dolphin unicorn actually is. Okay, so if we're looking at the letter N this week, let's quickly do our alphabet song, just to make sure that we remember what comes before and after the letter N, as well as making sure that we know all the letters of our alphabet, because the alphabet is very important to us. Okay, so let's go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now, I know my ABCs, and next time won't you sing with me? Very good, everyone. Okay, so let's get to it. I'm pretty sure you're all wondering, what on earth is behind Teacher Bernadett's head? Well, let me tell you, this is a video of Under the Sea. Now our theme, you guessed it, is under the sea. So I made us a little poster. What you can do, which is also a fun activity, is to make your own under the sea poster. Now you can think of all your favorite sea creatures. You can think of some sea creatures that people might not know exist. Or you can even make up your own sea creatures, because guess what? It's your poster. So you get to make your poster any way you want. And if you don't want to make the poster, it's okay. Just maybe then learn more about sea creatures. A little bit more than what I will do in the morning rings. You can just do a little bit extra to make sure that you keep your brain going and you keep learning and you learn as much as possible. Because that's all we want. We want to learn as much as possible. Okay, so let's think a little bit about if we're learning about under the sea, how exactly are we gonna see under the sea? Because we don't live anywhere near the sea, do we? Because I know I don't. So this is what we do. We go to YouTube videos like the one behind me. You can even search on Google and ask for under the sea videos, or what's very cool is there's an under the sea map, just like Google Maps, which I'm sure you all know. Oh goodness, that was loud, wasn't it? Which I'm sure you all know about Google Maps. We use it as a GPS if we need to go somewhere. So what you can do is, instead of looking at the houses and the trees in the street, you can look at what's under the sea. So you get to see some fish and some other sea creatures, some coral, maybe even some people diving. That would be very cool. Another thing you can do, if you are close to the sea and if you are able to go into the sea, because remember during the coronavirus you're not allowed to go into the sea, it's not safe. But what you can do when you are able to, I know I won't, very easily, but also I'm scared of the ocean, so okay. So what you can do is you can scuba dive. Now unfortunately the scuba diving, you need to have a lot of lessons and you need a license to scuba dive. So it takes quite a few years for you to be able to scuba dive. But once you scuba dive, you can go really deep into the ocean, so that you can take pictures and videos like these ones for other people to see, which is really cool. Another thing you can do is snorkel. Now when you snorkel, all you have to do is put on goggles and a mouth tube so you can breathe, and you can swim close to the ocean, close to the surface, close to the beach, so that you can easily get out and easily get up, so you can keep breathing. And then you get to see all the sea creatures that live close to the beach. Those are the sea creatures that don't need a lot of space, but also the ones that aren't too scared of humans. Some of the creatures I know that live close to the beach are crabs, some snails, some starfish, some jellyfish, some sea cucumbers, and quite a few fish actually. And sometimes, if you're lucky, whales and dolphins get to come close to the beach so that everyone can see just how beautiful they are. Okay, so now that we know how we can see under the sea, let's see. That's a lot of seas. Let's see what types of animals actually live in the sea. So we get our fish, and we get tens of thousands and millions of different types of fish. If you want to see a few of the fish that are out there, some movies to watch is Finding Nemo, Finding Dory, and Shark Tale. Those are just some of the ones I can think of right now. And those show you very well some of the fish. Even though they are in cartoon form, they look pretty close to the actual fish, which is really cool. Okay, some other things we can see are sharks. Now, interestingly, sharks are not fish. They are something entirely. That's wrong. Okay, I'm gonna have to remember this because, yeah. So something else that we have are sharks. Now sharks are big and scary. So something interesting about sharks, people think that like the dolphins that they're actually mammals, but no, sharks are fish, but they are fish without any bones. Now you're probably thinking, that's crazy, that's ridiculous, but that cannot be true because sharks are so big and strong and they eat a lot of other fish, so of course they have to have bones. They don't, they just have a really thick skin. Yes, they have a really thick skin that help them to stay alive and to be able to protect themselves, which is really cool. And there are over 350 different types of sharks. Now that's crazy. Some other things that we can find are mollusks, which is a tricky word, but you'll get it eventually. Now these are your shell creatures. So they're essentially snails, but sea snails, and some of them have pointy shells, round shells, flat shells, shiny shells, pretty shells, ugly shells, pattern shells. You've seen all these shells if you've ever been on the beach or if you've ever looked at pictures of shells. There are so many different types. You get teeny tiny ones and then you even get big ones, which is pretty cool. Other creatures we find are ones that don't always live underwater, but these are your sea mammals. So you have your sea lion, your polar bears, you also have your sea turtles who come to the beach to lay their eggs. You get your penguins. So there are so many different creatures that we find in and around the sea. And to me, the most interesting part about the ocean and under the sea is that some people and some scientists believe that we haven't even seen most of the creatures that live in the sea because the sea is so deep and humans can't actually go that deep. So we haven't seen all that the ocean has to offer, which I think is pretty cool. So what I will be doing for the next few days this week is to tell you as much as I can about the things that we know about under the sea. I can't wait to see you all. Bye guys. Hi everyone, it's Teacher Bernadett and welcome to our Monday activity. So for today's activity, we are going to focus on size. Now size, when we talk about size, we can talk about big or small, bigger than, smaller than, same as or equal to. Some people like using that. We also use tall or short or shorter than, taller than. Sometimes we talk about medium, but not really, because you can always talk about something based on something else. So if let's take this example of this paint is bigger than this paint, but this paint is smaller than this paint. Okay, so we didn't have to say this is small, this is big, but we said smaller than, so we can show that we are talking about two different things. Now what I want you to do today is to find things in your house or in your room, even your toys, and see if you can find things that are different in size. If you can't find things, or if you're not sure, what you can also do is just draw things that are different sizes. So what we can do, let me just get some paper. What we can do is I can take a pencil and I can draw one heart that I'll show you now. Oops. Another heart and one last heart for good luck. Okay. So you see I drew 5 hearts, all different sizes. So you can do this as well. You can color in your hearts. So when we look at these hearts, Okay, we can see that this is the biggest heart, this is the smallest heart. This heart is bigger than this heart, but this heart is smaller than this heart. So that is what I want us to work on today. Now this can be tricky, so we'll do it not only today, we'll do it later this week as well, just to make sure that we all understand it quite nicely, because it can be quite tricky to remember smaller than, bigger than, the first time that you do it. That's why I want you to find things that you can touch and that you can use to explain to anyone who wants to listen as well. Okay, so what we have is 1 paint, 2 paints, 3 paints. That's gonna fall. Anyway, okay, so what we are going to do together is decide which of these 3 is the biggest paint. So this one, maybe this one. No, this is the biggest paint. Now, which of these 3 is the smallest paint? This one? This one? Yes. Okay. So we have our biggest. We have our biggest. We have our smallest, and we have our middle. Now, which paint is bigger than this paint? So if we're gonna order the paint from biggest to smallest, we'll start with the biggest, then we go for the one smaller than, and then we go for the last one, the smallest. And there you go. So we have 1, 2, 3 different types of paints. We go from smallest to biggest. Another one we can do is pencil holders. So I have this one, and this one. Now you see, these 2, the pencils are almost at the same height. So the pencils make them almost equally tall. But we're not looking at the pencils, we're only looking at the containers. Now you can see this is a cup, but this is a square holder. So it doesn't matter what shape it is, because we're only looking at size. Now sometimes it is a lot easier to look at something that is the same, just to make it easier for you to understand. But I'll show you that even though they're not the same, you can also do this. So we're going to look, this is the biggest because it's the tallest in this case. Then this one is almost as tall but not quite, and then this one is the smallest. So you see this one ends there, so there's a little bit of space there, and this one ends there, so there's a little bit of space there. So that's how you can figure out which one's the biggest and which one's the smallest. Okay, so if you struggle, put things tightly next to each other and see if you can measure it using your finger to help yourself out. Okay, so I would love to see what you found in your house that you can measure and that you can order in terms of size. And even if you draw, I would love to see all the things that you drew. So I can't wait to see you for our art activity next, as well as the pictures and videos that you and mommy can send me so that I can see all the lovely work you've been doing. Bye everyone. Hi everyone, it's Teacher Bernadett and welcome to today's art activity. Now today's art activity is going to be the first step for the whole week. So every day we're going to do a little something to build onto what we are doing this week, which is building our very own marine life box. Now this box you can either just use to decorate and to look at, or what could be really cool is that you can use it for puppet show. So we'll make a few puppets as well later this week, so that you can, if you want, make a puppet show. So what you're going to need for today is the diorama papers that I sent on email, or that you can just use. If you don't have these, you can try and find them on, I use twinkle.com, or your teacher will give them to you. Okay, What you're also going to need is some blue paint because the ocean is a beautiful blue. And you're going to need an old box. I'm using this big box. You can even use an old cereal box, an old shoe box, any box you need. So what we're first going to do is we're going to paint the box, and then we're going to start cutting out these things and putting the glue where it says glue. So let's get started. So there you go. I realized in the beginning I said that we're going to cut a mint color because we need to color in the little pictures before we cut them out. Otherwise it's going to be a little bit tricky. So if you want to start cutting today, you are more than welcome. If you feel that you have enough energy, please cut. Practice your cutting skills. Cutting skills are very important, and it's very important that you need to keep practicing. Just to make sure that you know exactly how to cut so that your hand doesn't get tired. And over here, I put my box to dry a little bit. So I painted the inside and the outside, but not the back because we're always going to put it behind something, so this doesn't need to be painted. But if you want to paint it, of course, feel free to paint it. And there you go. That is our activity for today. Tomorrow we will continue by adding even more to what we've done today so it can become exciting and beautiful, just like the ocean itself. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye guys.